Could I ask first that everyone please silence their cell phones, if we would, and then we will have the prayer and the pledge, and then we will get started. Everyone will please rise.
Dear God, we thank you for each and every person here this evening. We thank you for the health that we have, and we ask for health for those that don't have it right now. We thank you for the freedom that we experience here. We ask for wisdom with all of the decisions that we have to make tonight. We ask for safety for each and every person as they go home. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our zoning and planning meetings for March 10th, 2026. We will start with calling the meeting to order, please.
Mr. Engler? Mr. Clemens?
Here.
Mr. Erdy?
Here.
Erdy. Mr. Guidry? Mr. Wax?
Here.
Mr. Dana?
Here.
Mr. Burns? Ms. Ferris?
Here.
Ms. Long?
Here. Okay, item number 5, adoption of the minutes of the regular meeting from February 5th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt the minutes. I'll second that motion.
By Mr. Clements, second by Mr. Dana. All right, moving on. We will start with our public hearings on rezoning request. So, I'm sorry. Oh, take the vote. Excuse me. I apologize.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Now, not getting ahead of myself again. For the rezoning request, we'll begin. We'll start with item 6A. I'm going to open that hearing, and whoever is here to speak on case number 26-21, LA Highway 1032, Tract C1 and B2, parcel number 0204792KX, going from Ag to R2 is the request, and it's Council District 5. Do we have somebody represent on this item, please? If you would please state your name and sign in, we'd appreciate it.
It's Chris Connerly. Does everyone have one of the little packets I handed out? Anybody not have one?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair and members of the Commission. My name is Chris Connerly. I'm the owner of the property located at 23690 Highway 1032. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to return and clarify my request. My intent is very simple. I would like to create 3 single-family residential lots along the highway frontage, each approximately 16,000 square feet, for potential future home sites, including possibly for my family and my children. The rezoning request technically covers a 3-acre tract, but the reason for that is purely procedural. Under the parish subdivision regulations, that was the smallest tract that I could subdivide in order to separate the frontage portion of the property from the remainder of the tract. If you look at Exhibit 1, you'll see an overview of the property from the Livingston Parish Geoportal map, which highlights the 3-acre tract within the larger parent parcels and shows how the property sits along the highway frontage. In reality, the only usable portion of the property is approximately 1.1 acres located on a natural high knoll along the highway. Exhibit 2 is a preliminary re-subdivision sketch that illustrates the 3 proposed 16,000 square foot residential lots along the frontage. This is simply intended to show the concept of what I ultimately plan to do. The tract numbers on that sketch reflect an earlier parcel designation prior to the creation of C1B2, so those parcel numbers are inaccurate just for illustration purposes. The remainder of the tract consists of federally delineated wetlands, which were identified through a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers jurisdictional determination. You can see that in Exhibit 3, which shows the wetlands delineation surrounding the upland area. Because the vast majority of the tract consists of wetlands, the small portion of high ground along the highway frontage is the only practical area for residential use. At the previous hearing, the commission indicated that a compelling reason would be necessary to deviate from the master plan designation. And I believe that a compelling reason exists here. The combination of the unique physical characteristics of this property, the federally delineated wetlands that significantly limit development, the very limited scope of this request, and the surrounding residential development across Highway 1032 together support allowing this limited rezoning. The property is also subject to recorded deed restrictions, which are included in Exhibit 4. Those restrictions limit the development to single-family residential homes and prohibit multifamily development and similar high-density uses, which is consistent with what I'm proposing and provides additional assurances that the use of the property will remain compatible with the surrounding community. The request is also consistent with the surrounding character of the area. Directly across Highway 1032 is the Nickens Lake subdivision, which is being developed in phases and is planned for multiple hundreds of single-family homes. Typical lots in that subdivision are around 6,000 to 7,000 square feet. The lots I'm proposing are 16,000 square feet, which is more than double the size of many of the lots across the street, meaning what I'm proposing is actually significantly less dense than the residential development that already exists directly across the highway. Because the homes would sit on the existing high knoll and naturally drain towards surrounding wetlands, drainage conditions would not be negatively affected. In short, this request simply allows the only usable portion of my property along the highway frontage to be used for 3 single-family homes, while the remainder of the land will remain wetlands. Given these constraints and the surrounding residential development, I believe this represents a reasonable and limited request. For those reasons, I respectfully ask the Commission for your support of this rezoning request. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, do we have anyone else here that's present that would like to speak on this item? Okay, we'll close the public hearing, and now could we have anything from Mr. Keene? Do you have anything that you'd like to add? Okay, thank you. And nothing else from planning at this point, or zoning, correct? Okay, commissioners, any questions or comments?
I have a question. Was any action taken on this by the council back in November? That was while I was out on maternity leave, so I'm out of the loop on this one.
I think it was pulled before it went to the council.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so it never went to council. So I was out of town whenever the zoning commissioning meeting happened. So I wasn't able to make it. So I wrote y'all a letter and asked if it could appear back, because if it would have gone to the council, I would have had to wait a year. And so we stopped it before it went to council. And I spoke to Ms. Dee and she confirmed that y'all were able to put it back on.
Okay.
Correct, it would have to go through the full process. All right, any other comments or questions?
I got a question about the delineation map. Can you help me understand where that is in relation to the 3 lots that are a couple of pages before that?
What is it, sir?
The wetlands delineation map, where is that in relation to the 3 lots that are on this one here?
So if you look at this drawing with the wetlands delineation, those 3 lots are in this knoll.
Okay.
Right there on the highway. So if you look at those 2, I didn't superimpose them on one another, but you can tell. If you look at the Exhibit 2, you can see where the lots are located, and you can see that the color changes. It's like a gray
Yeah.
versus a white. So the gray is the wet area.
I see it now. Yep.
So you can see, it's basically just trying to make use of that high knoll on the front.
Okay. That was the only
Okay,
question I had.
All right, that satisfies you on that. Anyone else, or do we have a motion?
Can I ask, what was the discussion in November that ultimately led to a denial? Anybody recall or? Well, no, I'm asking really my fellow commissioners what their thoughts were on it before, if they want to share that.
I think it's because I wasn't
At
here.
the time, we talked about the possibility of it being considered a spot zone.
Yeah, so I watched the video from the last one, and it appeared to me that because I wasn't here to explain anything, and there was a lot of confusion about what was actually being requested. There was a previous resub. At one point, I was attempting to rezone the entire 18 acres, which is the size of that tract, and so that led to a lot of confusion. You know, my humble opinion was just the fact that there wasn't anybody here representing the landowner led to a lot of confusion that there was a motion to, and everybody just voted it down.
Thank you.
This
Yes.
3 acres has already been cut out of the 18 acres? It's already been cut out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was done just so that I could ask for the smallest amount possible to ultimately get the 1 acre.
Mm-hmm. Yes, correct.
That's right, just the 3. And that was one of the questions that came up last time that I think put some confusion.
Yeah, I
Well,
believe
the
it was
reason-
too open-ended that,
Right.
and not having the clarity brought us to that determination.
So it's a
Well, the
3-acre tract that was cut off of 18-acre tract, right?
Yeah, I have 30 acres there, but it's already, when I purchased it, I had a resub done and made it a 12 and an 18 acre tract.
Okay.
So yes, it's an 18 acre tract. 3 was split off.
And then the 3. But these sizes of these lots that you're wanting to subdivide, which is basically is why you need an R2, is because the size of these lots are going to be smaller than the 1 acre that would be required for an R1, right?
Well, I'm ag right now, so I'm asking to go from ag to R2. And ag
Right.
would be 3 acres, which is hence the reason why I'm asking to rezone that 3 acres, split that section off, just so that I could ask for the smallest parcel to be rezoned as possible. And if there were a way to just ask for the 1.1, like a split zone, which is something that I've read a little bit about, that maybe that's an option, I would be willing to do that as well. All I really care about is the 1.1 acres. I'm only asking for the 3 as a procedural matter.
So, and I'm just kind of curious here, why wouldn't you do the 3 acres into 3 1-acre tracts? And
Because only the
Request it
1
all.
acre along the frontage is flood zone X. Everything else behind that is wetland.
Yeah.
That's federally delineated that I can't or don't want to disturb.
Yes, sir, Mr. Clemens.
I had a question on this application. It says you wanted to do it for your kids. How old are they?
We got a 4-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 16-year-old.
You're getting ready to build them houses?
Yes, sir.
I applaud you for not waiting too long.
Sir, I have a question. This is an older aerial view. Is this right on the property where they have that trailer with the cleared out land?
That's
Because
my
this shows it as woods. Right next to it, they got about a 5-10 acre lot with a trailer on it. And then there's another lot that's about 5-10 acres. So if you, on that side of the road, it's all very large lots. And I think that's butted
No.
right next to it.
Well, that's somewhat true, but I have a 30-acre tract. The property that you're referring to that has the trailer on it is a 20-acre tract directly adjacent to me. If you go the other direction, I guess that's north, there's a 20-acre tract And then there's a 19-acre tract that's got five lots, almost identical to what I'm proposing to do on the same side of the street. And so not only do you have the, several hundred home subdivision on the other side of the highway, but on my side of the highway, separated by only a 20-acre plot of land, is 5 relatively small lots along the frontage, not acre-plus lot.
Yeah, I think Mr. Clemens is right. The last time we talked about spot zoning and putting R2 right in the middle of ag certainly posed an issue. The other issue that I think most of the residents in that area voted in the last elections to stop this type of small lots. That's why they voted for implementing zoning. And so I've already gotten at least one person contacted me today to voice concern about this type of thing, continuing small lots in that area. And I think really the ones that are across the street is already concerning enough for the people in that area. So
Now, this will limit him to 3 only, so he can't expand on that.
yeah,
I think there's a big difference between 3 and 600, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's 3 acres R2, that's what, 12? Potential, or
Yeah, but he's already taken up 1.5 acres of it, right? Those are quarter acre or half acres, which you got already on this document. How big are the lots you're trying to make?
16,000 square feet, so just over a third of an acre.
Third of an acre.
It's
So he's taking up about 1 of the 3.
Yeah, and so, and the other, the purpose of me presenting the delineation, the wetlands delineation, is that that's not a theoretical wetlands determination. That's something that was filed with the Army Corps of Engineers and an official jurisdictional delineation made. So that the other 2 acres, you can't do anything with that.
Yeah. I get that that's a unique situation with your wetlands there would restrict you, but the problem that Mr. Clemens already brought up is once you rezone that 3 acres R2, there's nothing keeping anybody else in that area with ag to try to get even larger tracts.
But there is already on that same side of the street 5 lots separated by just a few hundred feet that already have that. So if your concern is a precedent, then hasn't that precedent already been established?
I could be wrong, but I believe that happened before zoning was implemented.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That's my understanding as well.
Yeah. So
But it does exist.
it exists.
So it's,
And that's what my point was, that the voters in that area want that kind of thing to stop. So
This exists all over the parish.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
the
exists a
lines
lot.
are not clear and concise all throughout the parish. But at the same time, we had to draw the line somewhere. And, the law tells us what we need to have is a compelling reason to change. And it's because I want to doesn't qualify as a compelling reason.
I think it's subjective. I mean, there's several compelling reasons that I've laid out, in my view. The unique nature of the property, the fact that there exists on both sides of the highway similar properties. There's a number of compelling reasons.
is the 3 lots across there, is that the full width of the 3 acre tract?
Yes,
Are those 3 lots take up the full width of the road
It does.
frontage of that?
it does.
Well, I say, with your kids 4 through 9 years old, why not wait till they're 18 or 20?
I don't have any desire to
Yeah.
wait. I want to get it taken care of right now. You can see
and
the
actually,
trouble
I
I'm
don't
having
think
as
that
we-
has any bearing on what decision.
I mean, I'm
his-
already having enough trouble now, much less waiting 20 years from now.
I think one thing to point out is across the street, they're a lot further off the road. You have a big transmission line. These are right on the road. Just a little bit different, feel for it as far as how it fits in, but Demco has a very wide transmission line. There's a huge easement there. So it's backed a lot further off the road. It's almost not on the road as versus your property across the road. Just a comment.
I don't disagree with that. I think the closer parallel would be the property on my side of the street that's separated by a 20-acre tract that's almost identical to what I'm proposing along the highway.
And what are the maximum number of homes you plan to have?
3.
Just wanted to clarify. If there were any questions?
I would like to address something Mr. Wax said. The only thing before us now is his rezoning request. Anything beyond this that he might do, anybody else might do, is strictly hypothetical. It has no bearing on what he brought before us tonight. So, if he wants to come back later on, and when the wetland delineation is no longer an issue by the Corps and EPA, he has a right to do that. This commission has a right to turn him down. But it's strictly hypothetical what he might or might not do, or anybody else might or might not do. So this is the only issue before us, his request.
I don't think the Corps has anything to do with our zoning.
Well, the Corps has a lot to do with this. His 8 acres, I think, he said on the map, says Corps jurisdictional, EPA jurisdictional. Very shortly, it's my understanding that isolated wetlands will no longer be jurisdictional. So when that happens, he can come back and we can deny him. But it's strictly hypothetical. And he didn't get into the EPA jurisdictional or Corps jurisdictional property. Because he can't, unless he wants to pay mitigation. But if he don't have to pay mitigation in the future, he can come back.
But again, that has nothing to do with zoning.
Well, it's part of the issue. It does. It has.
That is an issue on what the EPA allows him to do with it,
I'm
but it
just
has
telling
nothing to
you,
do with our zoning.
Let's go a little further. Anybody up and down the road that doesn't have wetlands can come back on their own. In this case right here, has no bearing upon what they might or might not do. This is the only issue before us. It's his request, nothing beyond.
Yes.
It's all hypothetical.
Simply this 3 acres, and I think it needs to be brought to mind too, when we talk about spot zoning, I think that's a much larger issue that we, throughout the conversations that have been had, when you have a stretch of residential and somebody wants to put a commercial right in the middle or something like that, versus ag is continuous. The majority of it, they're either very large lots or there's not it's not as pressing in regard to spot zoning. Versus if you had a subdivision and somebody's trying to do a business in the middle, et cetera. So with it being 3 lots and he can't do anything more with it, I don't know that it is as critical that it's a considered spot. Okay, any other comment?
It's not that he can't do anything else with it, though, right? It's that he can't do what he's currently planning to do with it. He could still, it's currently ag, right? So
Right.
you could still put multiple homes. This is a large tract overall, right? So you could still put a single home on the 3 acres. So I just want to be clear that we're not
others is
leaving him in a
wetlands.
position where he
Yeah.
can't do anything with his
Well, the
property.
rest is wetlands, so
The federal law
currently,
prevents-
federal law, it's limited, so.
Right, but that would be limited by federal law and not by any decision that we're making.
Right. But the item at hand is strictly the 3 lots. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to make one more comment. I think it just goes back to, I'm not in favor of setting precedent that we want to change large agricultural tracts into 1/3 of an acre lot in general. Realize this is a unique situation, but that's.
And I'll say I'm not in favor of that either, in general, and I live there. But this is a very unique situation.
You live on that 18 acre?
I live on the other piece of the 30 acres.
Okay.
So yeah, not actually on that 18-acre tract, but on the 12 acre that directly abuts it.
Gotcha.
The master plan, future corridor, map, I believe has that, leaves the door open for R1 along the road. I don't know, I know that's not what he's asking, but if I'm correct, I don't have the map on there, but there's the future corridor, the master plan is zoned, and I believe that area is R1 for future, but it's not R2. But like Mr. Burns was saying, if they did away with the wetland delineation, you could have 1 acre lots, and that would satisfy, I believe, what you're asking to do.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be feasible. I mean, even if y'all didn't have to pay the Corps for mitigation, you'd have to remove all of that muck and replace it with suitable fill. It's just not feasible. I'm looking just to take advantage, just to utilize the one piece of high flood zone X property that exists currently.
I want to bring up something, expand on what you just said. It come up at the last meeting on the future land use map. The master plan calls it FLUME as an acronym for future land use map. It says FLUME is not regulatory. It might show that area to be R1 or mixed or rural or whatever, but it's not regulatory. It's just strictly an idea. Now, the previous master plan envisioned Livingston Parish was implemented in the year 2013. It said on page 28, it is an anticipated land use map. Now, it doesn't say here on page 55 anywhere that it's anticipated, but it's implied. That's all it is. It's a guide. It's anticipated. It can change, and we can change it. And it goes on down the line. It says it supports development in areas with adequate infrastructure. Surely you have the adequate infrastructure in this area. But it's strictly anticipated. Things change in this parish. In Albany on Strawberry Lane, that area out there was going to be primarily industrial park type an area, or C1 light industrial. Well, the citizens out there don't want that. So the demographics have changed. So it can change, and we can change with it. We're not locked into something on the future land use map. So
What I'm saying is if the future or anticipated shows R1 on the edge of the road, if you did change it to R1, it wouldn't be a violation or setting precedents where, okay, now everything has to be R1 in the area, like we argued about setting precedents because of it being anticipated. So what you're saying is the anticipated use doesn't mean nothing. It's just
well, it's just a word, anticipated, okay? But it's a guide. This future land use map is strictly a guide to go by. And I encourage y'all to go read page 55. It basically says that. But that doesn't mean that we can't change it. Infrastructure is surely there to support what he's trying to do. Now, I don't see that as spot zoning, and I take issue with the fact that if it's AG, you can never change AG. I disagree with that 100%. This don't set a precedent on AG.
But jumping from AG to R2 in that area is a big step, I mean, you would think AG to R1, here and there, and then maybe 1.5, but AG to R2, it just doesn't fit in that area.
Well, he's not asking for a subdivision of 200 houses. He's asking for 3 lots. That's not a major thing on R2. But I take issue, I think, maybe I misunderstood you, Mr. Brady, but you didn't want to change anything that's AG to anything else, and you can do that.
Yeah, I think what I may not have been very clear with what I was trying to say, but when you look at the zoning map, current, everything around there, except for the existing neighborhood across the street and the existing, I think it's 4 or 5 lots, a couple of properties over, everything around there is either R1 or ag. And what I am not in favor of is setting precedent that we are changing ag directly to R2 with third of an acre lot in an area that is mostly ag.
If you worry about setting
And R1.
precedent that no one could ever change AG to R2 or anything
Not ever.
else, and I don't agree with that at all.
Not ever, but in this area, it doesn't fit.
Well, that most of that area is wooded area on that side, if I remember right. Well, I go up and down there all the time.
And I think, and just to tell you this directly, if you were changing this 3 acres to 1 acre lots, I think it would fit more with the surrounding R1. I know you were trying to just utilize the non-flood zone area, but R1 1 acre lots seems to fit that area better regarding all of the surrounding R1 and ag.
I got 3 kids, and one lot's not gonna do me any good. Need 3 lots.
Well, I'm talking about the 3 acre lot into 1 acres each.
I understand, but those other 2 acres behind the 1 acre of frontage
Yeah.
are delineated wetlands, so I would have to mitigate that or wait for some federal regulation to change.
I can tell you how it works
Well, the
out.
map you have, the 3 acres, the 18 acres, you still have the 18 acres behind it. The flood zone, the delineate, it only shows it on the front part. It doesn't show it taking up the whole 18 acres.
Because that's all I delineated. And the purpose of this delineation was to build a road, a driveway. And so I only delineated just enough to be able to mitigate, which ultimately I mitigated had to pay a bunch of money before the Supreme Court decided you didn't have to do that anymore. But,
From experience, I can tell you how it works out, laying out land for your kids in advance. Because I did it, and she just moved to Wisconsin.
yeah, well, I hope I'll fare better. We'll see, but I definitely need 3 lots. And I've got 1 acre to put them on.
Okay, can we, have all of our questions been satisfied enough to make a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who would like to make a motion?
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Do you have any other comments? Mr. Wax, you seem to have something.
We were just looking at this.
The only wetlands that we really know is what he had done, like he said, for his
Right,
driveway.
sure.
You don't
yeah,
really know what it is around that.
Yeah. Okay. So a motion? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to deny it.
Can I ask the question to the chair, is the motion to deny, what is the reason for denial?
It doesn't
I
fit
don't-
into the current zoning. We're not
No, I don't
obligated
think
to
it's
change
not the
zoning.
map.
For future reference, what is the motion for, what is the reason for denial? Normally, over the years, you
I'd
can't
like to
just
call a
say-
point of order. When somebody makes a
Well,
motion, you
point
don't
of order,
question why.
in the past on this planning commission.
Well, I've already said it
We
I have already
always give
said
a
one.
reason for denial.
several
Well-
times. Yeah.
But he's
agree.
spoken that, so I think, right now, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, can we have the vote, please? Now, the motion is to deny, so a
Mr.
yes vote would deny it. For clarity.
Mr. Clemens,
Yes.
Mr. Wax,
Yes.
Mr. Dana,
Yes.
Mr. Burns,
No.
Ms. Ferris,
Yes.
Ms. Long.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to item number 6B. It is case number 26-22, 35490, Old Louisiana Highway 16, parcel number 0027367A, going from C1 to R2. It is District 2. Open the public hearing. Do we have anyone here to represent this item? Sir, if you don't mind stating your name and signing in, please.
Chad Lane, Lane. I'm here to try to get, actually, it's the next two. I'm here with mother-in-law's here. That's
Okay.
her address, the first one, mine's the second one. Trying to
Okay.
get,
Then we'll let this conversation, this discussion will apply to item number B and C, but we will take two separate votes.
yep, we live next door to my mother-in-law, and we both have 1 acre tracts, and they zoned it commercial, I think it was 2 years ago. And we're trying to get it changed back to R2. The land we have behind there is R2. It's approximately 8 acres.
We just did one right next to you, Mr. Berthelot, right?
Brian Fontenot?
Fontenot.
Right.
It's a Cajun
We're
name.
on the old Highway 16 where the old
We just
school
did
is.
one right there, yeah.
Right. His just got changed back 2 or 3 months ago. But this is not a well-traveled road anymore, except, school traffic with the schools right there, since they built the new highway. Yeah. For 9 months out of the year. That's all I'm asking, is if we could get it changed back to.
If I may speak for a moment real quick.
Please.
Because that way it doesn't have to be real lengthy. Whenever the zoning started in this area, I think it was a mix-up on the assessor's website, and it originally showed it as separate parcels of land. So it looked like their parcels, instead of one tract, was separate tracts. So the front facing the road, touching the road, was zoned as commercial, when in fact it's all one tract, and they just want to fix it back to what the use of that land is for. That's it, cut and dry.
So basically a correction like we've done some of the others.
There's also another one that didn't make it in time for this meeting that is going to do it as well, same situation.
Okay,
Thank you.
Scooter, I think we've been calling these legacy issues.
yeah. Okay, does anyone
It was
have
just
any
zoned incorrectly.
questions?
It's just a cleanup like you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, they cut, it's like a 10-acre tract, and then they just went through and took the front 2 acres, my land and my mother-in-law's land, and the land behind it, they just left it residential.
Okay. All right, do we have anyone else that'd like to speak on this item?
Thank you.
Thank you. Just state your name, sir, and just sign in,
Anybody
please.
don't know me?
I was close on your name, I was close.
How y'all doing tonight? I just come by to say hello. My name's Brian Fontenot. I live next door to Mr. Chad, and same old problem. They put Miss Vicky's house and his house is C1 on 1 acre in front. The rest of their property was R2 already.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate, I'm sure he appreciates your support.
Mr. Dan, my wife asked me to tell you she looked it up, and the difference in your elevation and ours is like 56 feet. Your elevation where you're at and ours is 56 feet. I'm 56 feet higher.
Okay.
If Mr. Brian goes to getting wet, he need to call me. and
Yeah,
let
but
me
the
know.
water flows
Excuse
downhill.
me.
That's, a flood stage at Denham Springs is 41.5. Port Vincent's 21. The water rolls downhill. So that's a little
Okay.
misleading there.
All right, to get back on task, do we have anyone else to speak on this item? Okay, we're going to close the public hearing. Do we have anything further from the department? Okay, any questions from any of the commissioners? Or do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve. Item A.
Okay.
Second.
Mr. Clements, second by Mr. Wax. We can take the vote, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay, item number 6, we just had the public hearing for 6C, but we do need to take a vote on that item. And it's case number 26-23, 35484, Old Highway 6, Louisiana Highway 16, parcel 0007450, and the same going from C1 to R2. We could have a motion on that.
Motion approved.
Second.
It'd be the same, Mr. Clement and Mr. Brady. Whack. Take the vote, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right. Public hearing for item D will be case number 26-24, 31841 Netterville Road, parcel 0083980, going from R1 to R1.5 is the request, Council District 3. Do we have anyone here to speak on this item? We'll open the public hearing. If you'll just please state your name and sign in.
My name's Jonathan Hughes. I own the tract on Netterville. I'm just trying to subdivide it in half because I have a daughter that's about to be 18 and I want to be able to give her half of it.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone else here that would like to comment on this particular item? All right, we'll close the hearing, and then, sir, we may have, if anyone has any questions, we'll ask those of you. Mr. Keene, do we have anything from the department?
Yeah, he's correct, though. So it's a 1 acre lot, so to be able to split it in half, we don't have a family petition yet. And, so that's the only way it could happen, is if you make it 2 half-acre lots.
Okay. All right, commissioners, any comments or questions? Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Burns, second by Mr. Dana. We could take the vote, please.
Mr. Clemens?
No.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right, sir, you've been approved, and it'll move on to the council. All right, we're going to move on to item number 6E, case number 26-25, 28578 Jackie Gordon Road, parcel number 0134411A, going request from R4 to R1. And that follows by a second item. Do we have anyone here on this item? We'll open the public hearing. And it is item E and F. So, sir, would your explanation cover both of those at this time?
C1 and C2, I think it is. That's the,
I'm saying we've got 2 items
yes.
with different designations, so.
Yeah, it's 2 1 acre lots. is
Okay,
what-
I
what
just
I'm-
want to make sure that you could inform us on both, so we could do the same and
Yes, ma'am.
just have to vote separately. Okay.
Yes, I'm Houston Stewart, and we wanted to split this here into 2 1 acre tracts for a single, family homes or mobile homes. And it's right here on Jack Gordon Lane. It was a 3 acre tract, and I bought the 2 1 acre tract. Do y'all have the survey?
I believe we have everything.
I have a survey here if y'all like
All right.
me to bring it up.
Just, if you will, just hold it for 1 minute, and we'll see if anyone needs it, that particular copy. But anyone else in the that need to reference anything in this particular item? Yes, sir. Mr. Joe, if you'll come forward and if you'll state your name and sign in, please.
Yeah, Joe Erdy, Councilman, District 9. I was there on the land today, been knowing the folks, but the point is, it's just too, like, field land, flat as can be. There's no structures, no barns, no nothing on it. So he's just trying to put 1 acre, 1 home, 1 acre, 1 home. And he's not asking for anything else beyond that, if I'm correct on that. Is that right? Okay. So there's no hindrance in a way. I don't see nothing that is deterrent to not approve this. It's just simply an acre, gonna put a home, an acre and a home, and there's nothing else there. Now there's things further down and over there, but what he's doing on Jackie Gordon Road, it's clear as a bell. So
Okay.
I just want to let y'all know that.
And less density, so, thank you, sir. Okay, any other people that would like to share anything? All right, we're going to close the hearing. Mr. Keene, do you have any comments?
No, except we don't know where this R4 zoning came from on the zoning map. We have nobody that's asked for it to be done. It's just there. And when we talked to Mr. Joe, he's like, we don't have a clue either. So it's just another
Yeah.
cleanup thing. But
Yeah.
it's much more restrictive going to R1 than
Right, it
R4.
seems like a positive
because
change.
you put 8
so.
per, you can put 8 per acre townhomes. So I think that's all you need to know.
All right. Yes, sir. Any comments or
I
questions?
had talked with Jacob Erdy, one of our members who's ill this evening. He was actually opposed to this because he was concerned it would turn into a trailer.
No, sir. That is on the right-hand side of the road. I think someone was trying to put multiple trailers, without splitting the property correctly. What I have here is, on my survey, is 2 1-acre tracts. It's just 1 mobile home or 1 home per acre is all I'm looking. That's all, because long story short, that's what I said when I got this property. That's
All right. Any other comments or questions? Yes, sir.
I know exactly what he's referring to, what y'all are asking, and there's a lane that goes down. His is on the left, acre, and there's 1 mobile home there right now with the intention, Scooter can enlighten us on this too, because we talked about it earlier, and they're going to subdivide and they're going to put, I think, 4 total scooters are going to be 4 altogether. But that's not on his land. It's on somebody else's land across the road.
That's trying to do that. Okay.
It's got nothing to do with this man right here.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Or do we have a motion? Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask the question, Madam Chairman. Both of them are case 26-25. The motion would be to approve both of them?
Well, we'll vote separately,
Even
but
though they're
it's the
number?
same. Well, there's a different address. Yeah.
I'll make the motion to approve 2625, 28578 Jackie Gordon Road.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes.
I'll-
No, thank
You
you.
ready for motion?
Yes, sir.
I also make the motion to approve 2625, 28562 Jackie Gordon Road.
Is that the right address?
And we'll,
What is it?
what
What's
do
the
you
address?
have? The second one is 28562.
Oh, I'll second.
You take the vote, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. All right, moving on to item number 6, we'll have the public hearing for, 6G. It will be case number 26-26 at 8436 Vincent Road, parcel number 0080200. The request going from R1 to C1. That's Council District 5. Do we have anyone representing on this item? Opening the public hearing.
I'm Sheila Rancher.
You'll just sign in for us, please, and share what you're trying to do.
In the end of 2007, my husband and I purchased this lot as a commercial lot. It was sold to us. It advertised as a commercial lot. Premier Insurance was currently on the lot running a business. We purchased it in 2008, started process of to build a store. We've owned Rancher floor covering for over 50 years. And most know toward the end of 2008, the economy went south. And so we put it off, and as time went by, it just didn't materialize. But we never worried because we felt it was a good investment. It was always, we would sell it. And we advertised it off and on ourselves and sometimes through realtors as a commercial lot for sale. At no time did we have any problem or anybody say anything about it. Well, somewhere along the line, don't know why or how, it got changed. And when we saw commercial interest heat up a little bit, I asked my niece, who is a realtor, to list it again. And she said, Aunt Sheila, you might want to check the zone on it because some things have changed. So sure enough, I went online and pulled it up on the zoning map, and it had changed. Because previously, whenever I pulled it up, it was showing blue, the same as Carter's and Walmart and everywhere else. And that was gone. So I don't know if when all the maps were getting messed up and they had trouble with Deer Run or what happened.
Right.
But somewhere along the line, I think mine got inadvertently changed. Someone saw a commercial lot in the middle, well, is a residential on one side of me. There's Foyer subdivision, which is one house, and in front of that house is 2 commercial lots. And everything up and down that corridor is slowly changing to commercial. So I'm really just asking to get back what I had. It was C1, even when I called out and got my package and things like that and spoke to people, I was told C1. And now I'm R1. So, and I paid for a commercial lot.
Okay. And and for clarity, it is in the vicinity across the street from the Carter's Grocery.
Directly across from
Yes,
Carter's.
and the Walmart and everything.
And the
yeah.
Waffle House to be.
I was going to say, just for
Yeah.
clarification.
Yes.
So, okay, do we have anyone else who would like to speak on this item? Okay. No other comments. We'll close the public hearing, and then they may have questions for
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, just one second. Mr. Scooter,
Chairman.
anything?
It's on a five-lane state highway, and we've already changed just east of there several lots to C1, and it's showing rural corridor, which allows for C1 all through there. So,
Okay.
Made sense to me.
All right. Now, Mr. Burns, you had a question?
Yeah, this question, I guess, is to Mr. Scooter. Mr. Scooter, kind of diagonally across the street to the right, there's a big pink building. What is it? I'm trying to get my bearings. What is that?
Walmart.
That's the Walmart grocery.
Neighborhood market?
Yeah,
Yes.
neighborhood market. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Carter's is directly across the street and to the
Straight
left.
across the
Correct.
street. Yeah. Well, a little to.
Okay, don't show that.
Yes. The Waffle House will be going up. It's going up right there.
Where's it going? It's right here in front.
Yes, so it's immediately across the street from all commercial. So. Okay, any other comments or questions?
I got a question for Miss Rancher, if you don't mind coming back up. There's a residence right next to this, just to the west, that looks like it's a Samuel Babin.
Yes.
Have you spoken with them? And are they-
She's here tonight.
Okay.
She's coming at.
They didn't want to speak, but I wanted you to just say for the record if these people are okay with this.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
She's headed in my direction, too.
That did not make it on the agenda in time to have it, but they're right along in line joining Ms. Rancher's property that is also wanting to get it back to commercial because they thought that originally it was commercial as
Right. Okay, and it seems to make sense for sure, so.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
Just want to say, I wish that I would have talked to you. Those maps were thrown out. A federal judge overturned it, but just know that area, say a mixed use were to approach you, or townhomes or something like that would approach you, now you're going to be zoned that for 2 years. You can't undo that. Also, I had something else to tell you. You know, y'all be aware of it too. Look at R1 because some commercial is allowed in R1. There are businesses and whatnot that are allowed in R1. So just cautioning. Yeah.
That's a provisional use is what we call it.
I don't think it
Conditional.
would be appealing to a developer to buy a lot that is zoned for R1 when he's wanting to do commercial, because then he'll have to do all this. I find a lot more appealing if it's zoned commercial. That's just my opinion.
Well, I think, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but what I'm hearing is you're saying that if she gets the approval, this change in zoning tonight, and she's marketing it as a commercial lot, and someone wants it to be, let's say, R4 or something else, they cannot get it rezoned again for 2 years. So you are, I think, what she's saying is you are definitely narrowing what they're able to do with it after that for 2 years.
Okay, and so I run into this problem with developers and residents often, where the residents get
It might be 1 year, not 2.
Think that a lot of people think that commercial is the most bang for your buck, and it's not. And so the residents get in it, and then it gets all.
Well, for 19 years, I thought it was C1.
We weren't zoned 19 years ago.
I know, well, we bought it. It was advertised 19 years ago
Right.
as a commercial lot.
I see. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, as long as you have that clarity to know where we're moving forward towards. All right, any other comments or questions from commissioners?
I got a quick comment. As far as
Yes,
the issue of it's worth more to resell it or not sell it, that's irrelevant. The ethics class, slide 40, teaches you don't do that. However, that area right there, C1 would fit there.
Correct.
You got a Walmart there, you got Carter's, you got a Cracker Barrel, so it does fit. But as far as we need to change it because it's more marketable is.
Oh, no, I don't, I think it was
that's
just.
almost, but that's irrelevant.
Right.
If you throw that out, it still fits.
Correct.
Commercial.
I
It's a good idea there, in other words, to change it.
Right, and I think Ms. Sandiford was just pointing out to them that if they are putting it on the market, to understand there's still some restrictions with C1 that they wouldn't necessarily be available for, and she just wanted her to understand that.
Well, R1, it was, if they had a house there, or if it was originally a lot there for a house, then it was zoned right, but to change it, it does fit the zoning.
Right, yes, it
It
does.
does. Well,
Yes, it does.
It's a good idea, in other words.
Yes, and I think long-term, having Rancher Flooring, they did anticipate, because it was, I recall when it was for sale and advertised as commercial. And of course, back then, there wasn't the zoning per se, but the realty market saw it as commercial. And so I think that's where the confusion is. It wasn't technically zoned, but it was marketed that way.
want to comment on something Mr. Dan said. I totally agree with you. about we should never be making decisions on zoning or any development based upon the developer, the landowner making more money. That is not what we're here for, to ensure that they make more money. If they're good investors and good developers, they will make money, but that's not our job. I agree with
Right.
you.
All right. Yes, sir.
I think Ms. Sanders was correct in saying that if we grant you this, we will, to a small extent, tie your hands for the future. I really honestly believe that you're probably better off not submitting this request at the time. It's likely to succeed because it is an economic corridor as such. And if you want to sell it, the next person has more flexibility without tying it up for the next year or two. But that's up to you.
One more thing. In the future land use map, it is rural corridor, which means that if a developer were to come, I don't see how y'all could turn that down, whatever, it's rural corridor. I don't know if you understand that language. That's part of rural corridor. There's like, oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I know that sounds
I
confusing.
think it
if
leans
somebody has
towards
the
ag, kind of,
definition.
it gives that impression.
rural to me is.
But along
Right.
all of the state roads in our parish, when we did the future land use map, or you can refer to that also probably as the master plan for the parish, on all the state roads, there is so many feet that are rural corridor, which would give you what you want without having to change your zoning. Okay.
Well, but I think still that's a guideline versus zoning would be required, because you won't be able to get any type of, anyone that would choose to, that would not be able to get any kind of loan, bank activity. I think the realtor can verify that for you. Correct. I mean, if it's not zoned for what you're trying to do, you will not get approved for funding. So that's part of this process in many cases. So, but I would imagine y'all have somewhat of an idea of where you're headed with this. So as long as you just be very sure that this is what you would like to do. All the yeah. So, right.
Well, just to make sure we knew what we were asking.
Correct.
I asked a lot of questions, and I'm trying to provide answers.
Okay, and
We're trying not to tie your hands here. Yeah. But the point is, we're trying not to tie your hands here. At the same time, in making a reasonable request, we don't want to bottle you up either.
okay. So that all being cleared up, do we have any more questions, or do we have a motion?
You want a motion?
I would love one.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, second by Mr. Dana. If we could call for a vote, please.
Mr. Clemens?
Yes.
Mr. Wax?
Yes.
Mr. Dana?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Ferris?
Yes.
Ms. Long?
Yes. Okay. That will move on to the council. All right, moving on, item 6H has been pulled from the agenda. So at this point, item 7, if there's any parish attorney comments, I would imagine that we're good. Review engineer, nothing. And the department, no comments. Okay, either one. Any commissioner comments before we move on to our planning meeting? All right, we are adjourned. We're going to take a brief moment. If anyone